Good morning, Sagittarius. Welcome to How Can We Be Ready for the Week Ahead? And thanks to those who participated in the poll. I'm going to try to at least get one weekly career reading out for sure. And someone had mentioned making my reading shorter. And look, I talk a lot. I'll do my best, but there's no guarantees. So I try to keep my readings at least no longer than 20 minutes. But there you have it. So Sagittarius, let's look at the overall energies. Like, I feel like you are just trying to go with the flow here, because to the sea is here for your energy. Yeah, I feel like you are. Also for you is the Queen of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and the Page of Swords. I feel I do feel this energy of like kind of being a little withdrawn from others because there is this maybe this worry about your independence, right? So there is this kind of withdrawing energy, because we kind of, Sagittarius deals with things alone, and you may be stressed out about things and you kind of don't want people to know that. And Sagittarius has a lot of trouble asking for help, you know, which is really interesting. You know, you may want to consider, maybe you don't have to do everything yourself. And that is one thing with Sagittarius that can be a thing. We tend to not want to tell people about our worries. You may have worries about specific things working out, and and this kind of like someone else has information for you, Sag. And so you might want to really temper this need to, keep your worries to yourself. Maybe it could be beneficial for you to actually, put your worries out there. I know we don't like to do that, honestly. I feel like you're trying to stay positive about a certain thing that you are worried about. And I kind of think that instead of withdrawing from it, if you kind of put it out there, you could find that there is a solution coming in from a place you're not expecting with the Page of Swords, you know? So that's something to consider. So the overall energy is all that glitters, clean it up, and chaos and conflict. Like, I know we all want things to move forward. We all want these new things to come in. I feel though, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it's always a good thing. I feel like we're in completion energy still, okay? Because things are clearing out of your way, whether you see it or not, okay? So all that glitters is, it could be really dealing with some disappointment of things that you thought were really great that have been turning out to not be so great. And there's things you need to clean up here, because clean it up tends to be clearing out the clutter, getting things out of your way. And there's also chaos and conflict here. So you may actually be working out some conflict that you have with, it could be with other people. It definitely could, because round and round is here, and happy, happy, which is interesting with yang, and new life is like in the hidden energies, so you definitely are cleaning up some details that aren't working. And this could be like a situation that just keeps repeating, right? A pattern, if you will. There's some action being taken. Okay. that is going to make you really happy. So there is like, if you're finding that there's this situation that keeps returning, it's like you keep trying to make it better because you don't want chaos and conflict. Who does, right? And so there are some details to take care of, right? But this is being resolved. There is some action that's being taken, you know, and I feel like particularly was by the book An Unfinished Symphony. It's like, it could be a person for sure, but it definitely has to do with the ways in which something was done just produced a situation that was kind of unending. So maybe there's, you know, this is to look at how something was done, you know, specifically if there is some chaos in your life, you know, you're definitely going to resolve that. Definitely. Yay. The overall energy is interesting because the Three of Swords, the Death card, and the Nine of Pentacles, problems are literally being taken out of your way. Okay, and so this is what I'm talking about with this completion energy. You know, the problems are ending. Three of Swords and Death card, things are changing. And you're going to be in such a good place. Nine of Pentacles, specifically when it comes to money. But it's literally like there is a lot being done, big endings to things that haven't been working. Okay, and so I mean, I don't know if like you want to take a look at it, but I feel like you want to, because Sagittarius is one of those signs who starts a million projects, right? And so, because maybe, you know, I don't feel like this has to do with stagnancy, but this definitely is saying that there's something that needs to balance out before you start something new. Because the World and Temperance is here for what is unavoidable. Okay, so that's some major energy. The World usually is something coming to an end for a new beginning, right? For things to get better, for things to be successful. It also is your next cycle. But what it's telling you with Temperance is there's something that needs to come into balance first before that can happen. And Temperance usually, you know, it involves meeting something halfway because Temperance is the middle ground. Okay, so there definitely is a sense of some things that are needing to end, some details that need to be looked at in terms of something that isn't working. And what's interesting is that it is something you really want it to work. Okay, because all that glitters, there can be like a lot of disappointment, and now it's just about, you know, completing things that need to be completed, not necessarily starting new things. Okay, now what is avoidable is starting these new things, like Knight of Pentacles and Ace of Swords. So there's literally something here that needs to be finished before something can begin. And so, you know, you might think that you want to put a ton of work into these new things that you're wanting to start, new ideas. But really right now it's about being honest with yourself about the work. Like what it is you have to do, maybe even developing a plan or an idea for the seeds you need to plant for these new ideas. But before you can do that, something else has to end, or at least come to completion. And with the World being here, it's kind of telling you it's going to happen. It's going to happen, but I feel like it wants you to slow down before you approach something new. Yeah. So the people that may be affecting this week. Now, let me just say this, Sag. The Tower is here. The Six of Pentacles and Justice. All right. So what I was really hearing is that there may be someone in your life, right, that you really, like, you want to make them see what they need to do to make things better, right? But this person has to fall the whole way. This is what I'm saying. Okay? And that's really hard to watch because you want to swoop in and you want to do something and you want to help them, right? But the truth is that they have to have this tower come. The tower needs to come for this person so that they can see what needs to be done. You know, so don't swoop in on people who need for that tower to come down. Because the truth is sometimes we need to crash the whole way, Sag. And, you know, we want to help people. We want to, if we can, stop that from happening, right? Show them how they can stop it. But literally the universe is saying to you, Sagittarius, let this person do it. Let this person do it. They need it. They need to see it. Because the truth is like, if you swoop in and help this person, right? If you say, look, this is what you can do to make things better, they won't get the clarity they need. This person needs to crash and fall. That's not what I said. I said what I said, Sag. And I do feel like this is someone that you often help. Like, you always try to help. You always try to give. And, you know, the problem is that they have to do this themselves. And so, yeah. Okie dokie. So how can you be ready for the week ahead? It's interesting, because I feel like you definitely need some rest here. So there's definitely a need to, maybe let people help you out. You know, with the Three of Cups, that's about our support, right? It's with the Seven of Cups, which can say that you have a lot going on. You know, there's a lot, and there's a need here for you to concentrate. I don't know exactly what it is that you're concentrating on, but I also feel like you are really seriously needing to let people show up and help you, so that they can take some of these things off your plate so that you can focus. And you know, you are focused on how to move on from problems because the devil's here with the Six of Swords and the Queen of Cups. So there definitely is a need for you to like pour into yourself, to make some time for yourself. And you can't do that if you're out here trying to do everything. So it's basically saying you have to let other people help you out, take some of this off of you so that you can focus on what really needs to be done for yourself. This could also actually, Sag, have to do with your health, you know, because you're definitely needing rest, you know. And so, yeah. And it also kind of says to me, Sag, is don't let other people distract you from that. Like, don't get too involved in other people's, you know, stuff. Let them, you know, deal with their own shit so that you can focus on yourself, your own well-being, so on and so forth. Okay. Okay. So we're going to take a look at what you need to focus on, Sag. Because things are completing, Sag. You know, with the world, like, sometimes it isn't about what we need to do. It's about letting it complete. Letting it complete. Because I saw something that was really true. Sagittarius, we actually can be a little micromanaging. Okay, Sag, so let's see what the universe wants you to focus on this week. What does Sagittarius need to focus on this week? What does does Sagittarius need to focus on this week? Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to focus on this week? What does Sagittarius need to focus on this week? I definitely am hearing, don't try to fix things for people. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Lighten up. Okay, feel joy, Sag. What does Sagittarius need to focus on this week? Ask for the joy that you want. You know, this is definitely more of this energy of like maybe taking on too much yourself and ask for help. You know, so this is definitely about lightening your load yet again. Yeah. And freedom. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big energy this week, Sag. Okay. So let's take a look at what would help you, Sag. What would help Sagittarius this week? What would help Sagittarius this week? Sagittarius. What would help Sagittarius this week? What is Sagittarius's mindful message this week? Oh, there we go. Self-appreciation. I will find a moment throughout the day that I can dedicate to myself. Yeah, you're definitely supposed to focus on yourself. Find a comfortable space. Bring a pen and paper. I will write a letter of appreciation to myself where I will pour love into who I am and all that I do. Okay, Sagittarius. Toodles.